Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this new video we are going to do a deep dive into Anyconnect VPNs. So for Anyconnect there's two types of VPNs that we can configure, either SSLVPN and also Ipsec VPN. So what we are going to be configuring is going to be a VPN or Anyconnect SSLVPN and also a Anyconnect Ipsec VPN from this Windows device into this ASA firewall, and after we connect to it we are going to test to see if we are able to either telnet or ping this inside network. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to open the ASDN for this ASA firewall over here. Here we go. So from here, the first thing that we want to do is we want to configure our own Anyconnect SSLVPN. So we are going to go to Anyconnect wizard. Let's go ahead and click next. And by the way, if you did not know, Cisco Anyconnect or Cisco, the company, also wants you to use a wizard because they don't want you to make errors. So they want people to use the wizard. Okay, I read that on their own Cisco website. They rather have you doing the wizard than just using the CLI or just putting everything together yourself. Just for your information, okay? And so we're going to name a connection profile name. The connection profile is a pre-login policy. So pre-login means before you log in. Those are the policies that you configure on that connection profile, and we're going to take a look at those connection profile policies later. And then over here it's going to ask you which protocols you want to enable. I just want to enable SSL. Let's go ahead and do that. The client image is going to ask you for image. I already have an image loaded right here, which is coming from the disk 0 or my flash drive inside my ASA that I have the Anyconnect Windows 4.2 blah blah blah. And over here it's going to ask you if you want to use a AAA server group. We are going to use a local one. You can either add a new one if you want to, a radius one, TACAS, SDINT, Kerberos, or LDAP, whatever you want to add if you have it configured. But I don't have anything configured, so I'm just going to use my local AAA server, which is the server for this ASA, and I only have one username, which is Asker. So from over here, you want to create a IPv4 address pool or IPv6 address pool, whatever you want to do. We are going to do an IPv4 one, and we are going to name it just SSL pool, and it's going to start at 172.16.1.100 all the way to 172.16.1.110. Something mass. Let's just do the /24. Let's go ahead and click next, and this IP address is going to be the ranges that is going to be using from whenever somebody connects to this connection profile. So if somebody connects with an Anyconnect application from a Windows device or any device, is going to get an IP address from these ranges, and we're going to see that from the Windows device. If you have a DNS server, a Win server, or a domain name, you could do that. We don't have one. For NAT exemption, if you're doing NAT translation, since we're not doing that, we're not going to configure that. So let's go ahead and click next. If you want to do an Anyconnect client deployment launch, you can also do that. Let's go ahead and click and finish. And after that's been configured, we want to verify connection profiles. It is enabled for SSL, and it doesn't have IPsec enable. For that, you can see that the alias is SSL. And the group policy that we're using is the group policy, SSL group policy, that was created whenever we did this wizard, okay? And you can see that we have enabled SSL access on the outside interface, which is 20.1.1.1. So we are going to connect from this Windows device to 20.1.1.1. So that's good. Let's go ahead and save this configuration. Let's go ahead and go to group policy. Group policy is the post login policy. So after you connect to the ASA. After you connect, after that, the policies that you do after that, that's what is a group policy. So if you want to allow access to a certain servers, to a central server, or to any protocol like HTTPS, HTTP, FTP, whatever. If you want to add a plugin, you can do that, and a bunch of other stuff. So that's what it is. And from over here, we want to assign a local user, Oscar. Let's assign Oscar to it. Let's go ahead and apply it, save it. Good. Now, let's go ahead and connect to, from this Windows device to the ASA via, it's going to be a SSL connection. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and bring up my Windows device over here. Let's go ahead and open Anyconnect that I have installed. So you need to have installed Cisco Anyconnect. And let's go ahead and do a CMD. I'm going to do IP config, so I see my IP addresses configured. So I only have 192.168.1.2, but when I connect, I'm going to get 172.16.1.100, and you guys are going to see that. Let's go to 291.1.1, which is the outside interface of this ASA. We're not going to use the default. We're going to use SSL, the Alias SSL. It says welcome to the default group policy, and I will tell you why that is happening. That is happening if you go to group policy. You can see that the banner is being inherit, and if it is being inherit, then it's going to take this one right here. Right? Whenever you inherit, you're going to get it from the default group policy. But if you don't want to inherit, what we can do, we can go over here, uncheck inherit, and say welcome to SSL. Let's say Anyconnect SSL. Let's go ahead and apply it and save it. Let's go ahead and go to my Windows device. Go ahead and say disconnect. Open Anyconnect. Connect to it again. SSL. There we go. Now it says welcome to Anyconnect SSL. And also the alias, you can also change the alias, and that is for the post login. So before you log in, and before you log in is the connection profile policies, right? So if you want to change the alias, and this alias is for the dropdown, we can just say right here, Anyconnect SSL. You can go ahead and just say no, apply it. Okay. I don't know why I got that error, but let's go ahead and save it. Good. And if we go into my Windows device, let's go ahead and disconnect. And let's go ahead and connect to it again. You're going to see what the alias is. Connect. So the alias. Why did it say Anyconnect and SSL? Why do we have 3 right now? Let's go ahead and go back into this ASDM. Did I configure something incorrectly? Oh, I put a comma. It shouldn't have a comma. It should say just Anyconnect SSL. No. Why does it have a comma to it? Interesting. But over here is where you can change the alias for the SSL. So I think it was because I used the wizard, and that's why it is there. So that's where you can change the alias. As you can see, this one is default. This one says SSL. Let's go into my Windows device. We're just going to pick SSL. Cisco. Welcome to Anyconnect SSL. So after we connect, we are going to do a show IP. Oh, not show IP. We're going to do IP config. And as you can see now, we have another IP address, which is 172.16.1.100. So that means that we are connected into the ASA. And the way that you can see this IP addresses pool, you can either go over here to the Anyconnect profile, and you can see right here that we're using the SSL pool. You can select, and it's this one. And also it is if you go to address assignment, and you go to address pool, it is right here. So you can edit and do whatever you want to it, but we are going to keep it the same. So as you can see, let's go ahead and try it and see if we're able to ping the inside router over here, 172.16.1.3. There we go. We are able to ping the router and get a reply. So now we should also be able to telnet into it, because I have configured telnet, and it is 172.16.1.3. There we go. And as you can see right here, we are inside the router. So we were able to telnet and putty and do all that good stuff. You could go ahead and close that. And if you want to see the session that is connected to it, you can go to monitoring. You can go to VPN, and for some reason it doesn't work, but you can see that we have a SSL, TLS, DTLS, and it is one active. And if you want to see more, VPN, and you can go into a client, not clientless, Anyconnect client, and from here you can see that session. It doesn't load for some reason for me. It's just gets stuck at 97%. But if you want to see it from the ASA, from the CLI command, you can go over here and open it, and you can do a enable show VPN session. It's in a show session. What is it? Show crypto VPN. Let me see if I remember. It was a. Just give me 1 second. I believe it is the. So you can see it from here. For us to be able to see it, let me see if I remember. I think it is show VPN. There we go. Show VPN session database, and we do connections. Or Anyconnect. There we go. So as you can see right here, we have one connection from the Anyconnect. It was connected with the username Asker. The IP address assigned to this connection was 172.16.1.100, which we saw from the Windows device. If we do a CMD IP config, there it is. We are using Anyconnect parent SSL tunnel and DTLS tunnel, which uses UDP. You can see the encryption that we're using. We are using a next gen encryption, and you can see that we're using SHA for data integrity. This is hashing algorithm for data integrity, SHA 384, and for data confidentiality, which is encryption, we are using AES GCM 256. You can see the group policy that we're using, group policy _ SSL. You can see the tunnel group that we're using, and tunnel group means it is the connection profile, which is called SSL. And you can see the duration of this, the inactivity, and you can also see the login time. So what time this username was logged into this SSL Anyconnect VPN. So you can see a lot of good stuff by using the show VPN session DB Anyconnect. Okay, so also let's go ahead and go to configuration. If you want to do more stuff, if you go to connection profiles, and if we go into SSL, let's go ahead and go to advanced, say no. You can do a lot more stuff, as you can see over here. You can add an alias. You can go ahead. Let's go ahead and delete this alias right here. Let's go ahead and see if we are able to. Doesn't let me. Let's go ahead and see if it lets me edit Anyconnect. I think it needs to be all together. So if we do a underscore, or let's go say SSL Anyconnect for the alias. There we go. Apply it, save it. So if you put a space, that's why it puts a comma, and then it adds another connection profile. So if we go back and we disconnect, we should see the new alias. Connect anyway, and there it is, SSL Anyconnect. And welcome to Anyconnect SSL. So you can see that over there. Also, and this is for the post login, or not the post, for the pre-login policies. It's an Anyconnect connection profile. So before you log in, those are the policies that are applied. But after you log in, it is the group policies, okay? And the connection profile is also called a tunnel group, which we saw from over here. It is called tunnel group for the connection profile from the CLI. For some reason, it is called tunnel group. So if we go to the post login, and if we go ahead and double click on it, and we go to advanced, you can see the split tunneling over here. You can add split tunneling, and the split tunneling lets you either encrypt all the data. If you go ahead and uncheck, it says that you can either exclude the network list below, and you can exclude some networks. So let's go ahead and add one, and I have a local one that it was configured a while ago. So manage, and it says IPv4. Let's go ahead and edit, and let's just go ahead and say, let's go ahead and exclude 172.16.1.0. Let's go ahead and just deny it. Deny traffic to inside router. So this is going to deny traffic to the inside, or you can just specify to just 172.16.1.3. Click OK. So we are going to deny traffic to the inside router. So now if we click OK and apply it, save it. Let's go ahead and go to my workstation, and I'm connected to it. So 172.16.1.3 is going to let me ping. But what about if we disconnect and connect to it again? Is it going to let me reach to this network? Let's see that. Connected. Let's try to ping again, and it's still letting me connect, which is weird. Let's go ahead and go group policies, advanced, split tunneling. So it should be excluding the network list below, but it still lets me do it. But actually, let's go ahead and tunnel on networks. Local, I'm denying it, but it's still letting me do it. It's kind of weird. Let's just go ahead and inherit that. Let's go ahead and go back to it. Split tunneling. So split tunneling is what traffic do you want to encrypt, and what traffic do you want to allow. So if, let's say, if we have a connection right here with a Windows device, right? So with split tunneling, what you can do is you can either do a policy where it says tunnel on networks, which means if this Windows device wants to go to the inside network, is going to encrypt it, and also if it wants to go outside of this inside network, let's say to like google.com or any other IP address that is not inside my network, what it's going to do, it is also going to encrypt it. But if we specify and we say just tunnel the network list below, and we say inherit, and we say that local, and we apply a network list over here, what it's going to do is it is only going to encrypt for the specified network below. Okay, so that's how split tunneling works. Also, you can just go ahead and configure the Anyconnect client from here. If you want to do detailed compression, SSL compression, FQDNA, MTU, always on VPN, So you can do a lot of stuff. Client bypass protocol, keep installer on client system, datagram transport layer security, or DTLS. If you want to enable that, you can do that as well from over here. If we want to also do IKE version 1, and IKE version 1 does not work anymore because it is a really old protocol, and what we use now, it is IKEv2, which is a lot more better, a lot more to configure, but it's a lot better. It has better encryption because it uses next-gen encryption algorithms, and it offers a lot more than IKE version 1. Okay, cool. So I believe we are done with SSL. What we're going to do is we are going to configure IPsec, and we're going to see that Ipsec connection from the CLI. So let's go ahead and go and do that. Let's go ahead and go into wizards. Go ahead and go to Anyconnect. We are going to be calling this Ipsec profile. We are going to enable it on the VPN access interface. Going to be the outside, which that's good. We are going to disable SSL and just enable Ipsec. The image is the same. This user is going to have access to it. We are going to add a new one, a new pool. This is going to be Ipsec Pool. This one's going to be from 172.16.1.200 all the way to 172.16.1.210 subnet mask /24. Okay, we're not going to do any DNS or anything like that. NAT, we're not using NAT. Finish. So that's good. Now let's go ahead and save it. So that's good. You can see that for the Ipsec profile, only Ipsec is enabled, and from the SSL, only SSL is enabled. So that's good. You can see that the alias is Ipsec profile. Let's go ahead and go into the group policy. Let's go ahead and remove Asker from the SSL, and let's go ahead and add it to the Ipsec. So we are able to log in with the username Asker. Save it. Let's go ahead and go into my Windows device. Let's go ahead and disconnect and then connect back to it. But we are going to connect with another alias, which is going to be the Ipsec profile alias, because we're now going to connect with Ipsec instead of SSL. We're going to go drop down Ipsec profile, password Cisco. And this one says, welcome to the default group policy. And that is because if we go into the ASDM, we go to the group policy of the Ipsec, and the banner is inherit, and it is inheriting from, I can show you right now, from the default group policy, which says welcome to default group policy. So let's go ahead and just not inherit that and set welcome to Ipsec. Just welcome to Ipsec. That's good. Okay, apply it, save it. Go ahead and go back to my Windows device. We are going to open it, disconnect, and we are going to see that we are going to get the banner that we just configured. Connect anyway. Ipsec profile, that's good. Cisco, there we go. Welcome to Ipsec. Good. There we go. Connected to 20.1.1.1. Now let's go ahead and do IP config over here. You're going to see that we have a 172.16.1.200, not 172.16.1.100, because we're not using the SSL. SSL is using the .100. Ipsec is using the 1.200. We should be able to ping 172.16.1.3. There we go. We should also, if we go to PuTTY, we should be able to telnet into it. There we go. We were able to telnet and ping that inside router. So now, go ahead and close that. Close this as well. Let's go ahead and go into the CLI, and let's go ahead and do a show VPN, show VPN -session DB Anyconnect. As you can see, this one, well, this one is using SSL tunnel, DTLS tunnel. It's also using SSL tunnel over here. And even though we're using the group policy IPsec and we're using the IPsec profile as well, let's go ahead and go into the ASDM. And let's go ahead and go into the Anyconnect client profile. We have the IPsec client profile over here. Let's see what's going on. Let's go ahead and go to the server list, edit. This one is saying IPsec. Let's go ahead and see do IPsec ASA gateway. So we only want to do, the primary is going to be IPsec. Save it, apply it. So this IPsec profile is the one that it is downloaded into the Windows device whenever you connect with a new profile. So if you go into, if you want to see that profile, you can go to the C drive, program data, Cisco, Anyconnect profile, and you can see it right here. You can even open it and you can see, ask me later, you can see what it says right here. You can see that the primary, it is IPsec and all that good stuff. And also you could see it from the CLI. So if you do a show directory or show disk, you can see it right here. IPsec profile. So if we copy this and we do a show, I think we believe it's a show more. Let's see if I remember. I think it's show or more. It's not show. If we do a more flash and we paste this right here, you can see the, you can also see the connection profile over here, and the main protocol is using IPsec. The host name 20.1.1.1, which is this one right here. So since that is being downloaded and all that, let's go ahead and try to reconnect to it. Disconnect, connect. Connect anyway. Let's see if now we connect with the IPsec instead of SSL. Connected. Let's go ahead and do show VPN session DB Anyconnect. It's still using SSL and DTLS, but I want to use IPsec because I'm configuring IPsec. So let's go ahead and go to the ASDM. Let's go ahead and go into the connection profiles, aka tunnel group. Okay, it is saying that it's using IKEv2. Let's go ahead and go into the group policies. Group policies IPsec, more options. And it's also saying that it is also only using IPsec with IKEv2. But for some reason it is not showing that. It is showing SSL. So let's go ahead and we cancel that. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's go ahead and go to monitoring, VPN, and it's also saying that it's using SSL, TLS, and DTLS. So what's going on here, guys? IKEv2. So the connection profiles, group policies. I believe let's go ahead and go to the Anyconnect client or to the Anyconnect profile. Only enable IPsec. Okay, edit. Ipsec Pool, group policy IPsec. IKEv2. No, general. Okay, so for some reason it's only letting me connect to SSL and not IPsec. So let's go ahead and go into profile, preference, good, server list. The backup is being inherited. Let's go ahead and edit. It's only using IPsec. Negotiate using EAP Anyconnect. So we don't have an identity iOS gateway. You can add a backup server right here if we want to. We don't have one, so we're not going to do that. Here's the name of it. Let's go ahead and just call it IPsec. Now let's also go ahead and I want to delete this SSL right here. Apply it. Go ahead and go to group policies. And in group policies, SSL is gone. Group policy IPsec is still here. Let's go ahead and go into we don't use IKE version 1, we use IKE version 2. You can see over here that it is enabled. Group policy is inherit. More option, only using IKEv2. Okay. Save it. Let's go ahead and go into my Windows device. Disconnect. Let's go ahead and go into the profile. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Let's go ahead and connect to it again. Connect anyway. IPsec profile. Connect anyways. Activating VPN. Let's go ahead and open. You can verify from here. And you can see it's still using DTLS. So it's starting to allow me to use SSL. So let's go ahead and see if it is the user that is only allowed. So if we go into AAA local users, I think it froze. Let's give it a second. There we go. Local users. Let's go ahead and go into Asker. VPN policy. It is using all of them. So let's go ahead and uncheck all of this. And let's just go ahead and leave IPsec and IKEv2. And it's using the group policy, IPsec profile. And everything is good. Okay, apply it, save it. Let's go ahead and go into my Windows device, disconnect. Connect to it again. Connect anyway. Cisco. So now it is not letting me connect. So it looks like it's only letting me connect into SSL, and since I disable SSL, it's not letting me connect. Let's go ahead and do a VPN editor, and let's create a new server list. Add let's call it IPsec 20.1.1.1 primary protocol IPsec. We're going to use the ASA gateway for that. That's fine. Click OK. Now let's go ahead and save it. IPsec. And we're just going to put it in my desktop. It is right here. Let's go ahead and open the profiles. Remove this profile. And let's move that profile that we just created over here. Try to connect to it again. No, actually, let's go ahead and do cancel. Drop down. Let's connect to the IPsec. So that's what I was missing. I needed to connect to the IPsec. So I needed to pick the profile that was created. I would just connect into 20.1.1.1. So if we pick which profile we want to connect to, then it should let us on. And there we go. Welcome to IPsec. So that's what I was missing. And you can see the Anyconnect downloading, blah, blah, blah. Establishing VPN. Sorry for that. Now if we go into Cisco, and you can see right here the protocol now is IKEv2 IPsec using NAT-T, NAT transversal. So also if we go into the CLI, if we do a show VPN session, you can see now that we're using IPsec over NAT transversal, IPsec over NAT transversal, and we're not using SSL anymore. So what was going on, what I was doing is I was just connecting to 20.1.1.1, and that was just trying to connect to the SSL. But if you pick the profile on the drop down menu, then that's going to let you connect with that connection profile that says that their primary protocol. If we go, let's go ahead and do a show disk, and what was the latest one created? It was this one right here. So if we do a more flash, paste this right here, we cannot see that one. Which one was that one? IPsec. Let's go ahead and do this one then. There we go. So as you can see right here, let's go ahead and go more. So now since we picked this connection profile that says that you're going to connect to 20.1.1.1 and the primary protocol is IPsec. So now we are connecting with IPsec. Before we were just connecting to 20.1.1.1 with that same connection profile, and not this connection profile that was specifying to just connect to IPsec. So if you don't specify which connection profile you want to connect to, it is just going to throw you into the SSLVPN, which we didn't want to. So guys, this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you guys enjoy this video, why don't you guys go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, share this video, share it with your family, your friends, your grandma, your mom, your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, anybody. And then go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. And if you don't have a Twitter account, well, go ahead and create a Twitter account, because I know you have an email. Create a Twitter account and then follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.